hopefully the UFC and me can come to a date and then rock and roll from there. So we're just gonna wait right now, see what lines up, see what opens up, and see who I could chop down.
We saw some names already out there. Are those the guys that you're looking at, whether it's Leon or Michael Chandler? There's a list of people who you could get in there with.
Yeah, so obviously a ton, but those two names I would like. I wouldn't mind getting in the cage with them. Nothing personal against Mike. I like Mike. I seen his rise to his Bellator. Been watching Mike for a long time do his thing and fight, But I think it'd just be like a very fun fight, very big fight. And the me and Leon fight, we've always had our differences, so why not settle them in the cage? The best way to do it. So what's up?
And you mentioned Mike. He's obviously been waiting for an opponent, waiting for that opponent. What about Connor? I know who knows if he's ever going to return, but a Masvidal McGregor fight could be the biggest fight that the UFC could ever make.
Yeah, true, but that's not up to me to decide. Connor can't even fight Chandler, so I'm not worried. Not worried about Connor. If he ever comes back, I'll cross that bridge then. But the dude, I don't know what he's going through. He can't step in there. I'm trying to actually fight, so who wants it?
And you're trying to get it done. You want to try to get a fight in by the end of the year.
Um, Not necessarily. It could be. It just has to be right. Be the end of this year, or it could be starting next year. Everything just has to make sense. I gotta sit down with the UFC, like I said, keep talking to them a little bit more, hear the plans out, and boom, pull the trigger on them.
How about a rematch with Nate in the UFC?
I don't know what Nate's current situation with the UFC is or isn't, so I don't know. He's not on the roster, right? So I don't want to try to get like a fantasy fight going. I just want to get a fight. Maybe his brother, because his brother's in the roster, but I think his brother has a fight lined up. I know it got scheduled. I don't know exactly why, but maybe after that fight, I don't know. I just
And
want to fuck somebody up, brother.
and fighting in the UFC doesn't impact anything of what you're doing with your Game Bread promotion.
No, not at all. Not at all. One thing has nothing to do with another. That's bare knuckle MMA, and I don't fight there. I just promote with my brother.
And you're still under contract, right? So to take an MMA fight, it would have to be in the UFC because we know Jake
Has
Paul's
to,
looking for a fight.
has to be in the UFC. Has to be. Reason being, I got more fights. I own fights, so I got to only box because of their gracious. I asked them and straight up were like, all right, that's what you got. You want to go box? Blah blah blah. And they even let me carve out a multi-boxing deal. That's how generous they are in the camp. So I'm happy, man. I'm just as happy to be in the UFC, which is what I love the most doing. It might be a while till I get another boxing fight, so I'd rather just get one now and MMA.
It seems like Dana, Hunter, the UFC would like to see you back in the octagon. Is that what you get from them as well? Feeling that from their side?
I mean, those are serious businessmen, so serious poker players. They're not always gonna show their cards, when I want them to show their cards. So I definitely think so. I would definitely think so.